It is over.
Welcome, everyone, to Thursday night with the Insiders. Yes, welcome to the show. We are so glad to have you guys along with us tonight. And man, oh man, just when you think the wrestling world is quiet, you think you're going to have a couple quiet days. Well, it never turns out that way, does it? So welcome to the show, and what a big show this is going to be. We have got a lot to talk about from last night, especially crazy stuff happening in the world of wrestling, things we never maybe thought we would see happening in wrestling. So yes, DJ B. Tazzy, look at the graphics. Jeff does a tremendous job, and I love the new entrance. What do you guys think? I loved it. I love the new entrance. I love the graphics. I love the I love exploding cubes. Amazing thing. Amazing job, Jeff. Man, what a crazy couple days in wrestling, man. Are you ready to discuss?
Wait, you mean something happened last night?
Well, you know what? The funny thing is, I wouldn't have damn well known. Yeah, I'm sitting here doing my 80s show, and I had no idea until my phone blew up. No clue. I was watching nothing last night. Literally, I had a taping, and I'm like, all of a sudden, like 5 minutes to 10, boom, my phone exploded. I'm like, what just happened? So it's what a crazy night. What a
Crazy
crazy
stuff,
night.
man. Crazy stuff.
Well, we are ready to rock and roll. We have a new format for the show. We're bringing some old stuff back. We're going back to the future. Yes. And we've got some old stuff to bring back. We're doing our debate segment tonight. So have not done that in a while. And we're going to go back to debating. Yes, I get to play Joe the heel again. That's so fun. So we're going back to that. And of course, we're doing the news. We're going to do the hot topic again. We're going to do our favorite moments of the week. We're going to do a what to watch for segment. You see it all up on your screen. And then, of course, we will have Jesse, as always, for Calynn Corner. So let me welcome in some people, and then we're going to get started because we have a ton of stuff to talk about. So the Texas Star fan in I think being coma, dude. It says comma, but I will say it means coma. So hello, Jen Carter. Hello to you, Monica King. Hello to you, DJ B Tazzy, who's joining us on Sunday for War Games. He said it's an Insiders podcast party, baby. It is. Rusty Shackelford. So, do you think we all have a unanimous number one moment? I don't know. Don't be so quick to think that. As I start coughing. Wrestling podcast, very vague name there, but sup, what's going on, man? Moda alert, red alert. Moda is here. Hello to Moda. Big Dan 5309. He said McLean time for the main event. Thinking about Die Hard there, dude, huh? Janelle Jackson. Hey, what's up, man? How are you? Jason Stoffer. We need to talk about. Yeah, we will. We will talk about that for sure. Steve Walker says Sting. Yes, we will talk about Sting as well. Sunny Wolf says hello, Rusty and Tazzy. Hello to you, Sunny. C Wrestling says good morning. Good morning, C. How are you tonight? Big Dan says, did something big happen last night? Ha ha ha. Last night was definitely buzzworthy, without a doubt. It certainly was. Sean Rousset says hello, everyone. Who else? Chris. Hello, Chris. Right off the bat with an ad for Manscaped. Yes, Manscaped, as always. They are a sponsor of our show. And don't forget to use our code Insiders over on manscaped.com. Go and get your significant other, whoever that may be, get them some stuff from Manscaped for Christmas. It's gift-giving time, and what better way to give a gift than to use a code and get some money off? Use our promo code Insiders over there. They are Refining the Gentleman. Great products from them. Make sure you go and visit their website. Cool stuff. Hello to Days Fan. He just joined us as well, and I think I've got just about everyone who's here so far. So, all right, Jeff, let's dig right in, shall we? We've got a lot to do, so let's get started, dude.
Yeah, we get into the news here.
We've got some breaking news.
Yeah, let's get the somber part out of the way first.
Yeah, let's of course. Man, you know what? This year has been really, really tough. We have lost a lot of good people in the world of wrestling. We really have. And we would be remiss not to say, of course, we lost a legend in Pat Patterson. It's really odd because it always seems like it's a Tuesday. I don't know what the deal is with Tuesdays. But I know because I end up listening to Busted Open every day, and they start the show. They end up dedicating the entire show to the people that we lost. And I listened to the show again, and I heard Bully Ray talking about Mr. Patterson. And I mean, look, I've been watching this guy since I was a kid. I knew what he meant to wrestling. I knew what he meant to Vince. But I didn't know some of the stuff that they were talking about. And, Bully Ray basically said the man was a genius as far as storylines. And The Rock, like, I didn't realize how essential he was to The Rock's career, and making The Rock what he was, and his character, and being so essential to him. Just a little quick funny story, and I'll throw it over to Jeff. Bully was talking about at a time when Pat ended up taking, it was him, Devon, And I think he had said it was Chris Jericho. Now, I may be wrong, but I think he said it was those three. And he took them to a gay bar in Canada. And he said that they had stayed out all night. And, of course, Pat Patterson loved to sing, loved to do karaoke. It was one of his things. And he said he would always sing the song My Way and What a Wonderful World. And he said he really was able to do a great job with What a Wonderful World. And they said so he would do his thing. And then he said that by the end of the night, those three were trashed. And they were up on stage. And he said they were doing the YMCA up on stage. He said 2:00 in the morning at a bar in Canada. And he said it's just one of those things he'll never forget. Obviously, rest in peace to an absolute wrestling legend. As Bully said, this one probably hit Vince McMahon very, very, very hard because he was always by Vince's side. He was one of his right-hand men, according to Bully. Again, a very, very, very tough loss for the wrestling world. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, you think about what he did in the ring, very first IC champion, and you think about how historic that championship is and what it means. And he was the very first one to have it. So,
yep.
But then you learn about all the things backstage that he did for different people. And, it was really cool to see a lot of different people from all over the wrestling community pay tribute to him and what he meant to the business. And, it's sad. I mean, it's one of those things where, you really don't think about how, how old some of the folks are that we followed throughout the years.
Yep.
And then something like this happens and you realize like, man, it's not necessarily that he was old, but it's a sad thing when the legends start to pass away.
It is.
And, this has been a very tough year in the wrestling business. It's been a tough year overall because we've lost a lot of legends outside of the wrestling business as well.
Yep.
So, rest in peace to Pat Patterson. And, hopefully his legacy will continue to live on, and I believe it will.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, like Jeff was saying, you guys, of course, we all, some of you guys that are a little bit younger, as you guys get older, you'll see, I mean, it's one of the things about getting old. And, as you grow, you'll see, a lot of people that you knew and you remembered really well that are passed on or have passed on. And Pat was, he was 79 years old. So, not old by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, you're seeing people live longer and longer today, but no real details given. Now, Jeff, I think you told me he did have cancer. Is that correct?
I believe that's what the report was.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously, and if that's the case, it takes so many people. And of course, with COVID out there, the people who are having issues with immunity and immunocompromising things, it's all that much worse. So, so great stuff. And thank you for letting us do this and tributize Mr. Patterson. He definitely deserves it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so what have we got next?
What do you say we go from one legend to another?
Let's do that. Well, now. Well. So, I mean, this was rumored months ago, right? Because we all knew that, and the thing was, and I have to credit, I think C Wrestling mentioned something about his action figure being pulled. And so it was being pulled off of the line. There was supposed to be a Sting action figure that was supposed to come out. I think it was either an Ultimate Sting or something like that. And the action figure got pulled, and that became news. Like, a lot of people were wondering, well, what happened? Why didn't they create the figure? And literally Mattel came out and said, well, no, they pulled the figure. So everybody was kind of wondering what happened. Well, and then the rumors started. Well, what's going to happen? Where is Sting going to end up? And then from then on, almost every AEW pay-per-view since then, everybody was saying, is this the pay-per-view that Sting shows up? Is Sting going to show up people were thinking he would show up in Impact. People were thinking he might show up with Undertaker. Well, we got Sting. And we got Sting in the snow. So coming out last night, again, I did not see this happen live. I know a lot of people marked out to it. I've seen videos today. I've seen clips today. And look, I mean, the man is an absolute legend. There is no question about it. I love that character. I love the Crow character that he does. I love the vigilante character. And obviously it looks like he's doing a version of that. He's got the bat. He's got the long jacket. A little bit different. And up, man, did they get that merch out quick, didn't they? That merch, oh my goodness, that merch came right out. They showed that right away.
I don't even think he took 3 steps and they had stuff out there.
Oh man, t-shirts and hats and all that kind of stuff but I mean, look, I think it was a shocker when it happened, but I don't think it was necessarily a shocker that it was going to happen at some point. So let's talk a little bit about it, right? So here's my thoughts. I'll go to Jeff for his thoughts. You guys can tell us what your thoughts are. I see a lot of people saying rest in peace to Pat in the chat. Drift Lewis, Sting versus Darby Allin at Revolutions. Here's my 2 cents on Sting. We all know his last match appearance was Seth Rollins, and he suffered a broken neck, which I mean literally could paralyze you. So do I feel he's going to wrestle? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He came in. He is the guy who's going to be more than likely. This is what I'm envisioning. Now, I don't know anything. I have no facts on this, but what I envision is probably in January at AEW's next pay-per-view, they are going to have probably a 4-on-4 match or a 3-on-3 match with Cody, Darby Allin. Those guys are going to get together, Arn Anderson, and they'll have some sort of triple, 3-on-3, 4-on-4 against the Taz guys. And Sting will be the guy who will be outside of the ring, like Taz is outside of the ring, and be the guy that's going to kind of get involved. But he is going to be the one to kind of keep Taz in line. That's what I think he's there for. Do I think he's going to be involved and on every single show? Absolutely not. Now, I'm sure he'll be there next week because he'll be there to state his intentions and talk about what he's going to do and things like that. Do I think he's going to wrestle? No, because I do not think at 61 years old, he's going to go out there and he's going to put his life in jeopardy when he had a broken neck. I don't think he's going to do it. Now, can he do a cinematic match? Yes, but AEW hasn't really been famous for doing cinematic matches. They've done a couple with some cinematic elements, but nothing really like the Boneyard or anything like that. Now, that doesn't mean they can't do it. I'm sure they can. But the thing is, who would it be against? And then you got to start wondering, who is it going to be? Is it going to be, I'm sure it's certainly not going to be Taz. Is it going to be Cody? Is it going to be, it wouldn't make sense to have him fight Darby Allin. So I don't really know. I don't have an envision of who it could be against. I mean, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard don't make a lot of sense. So I don't know. I mean, could they do something down the line with him in a cinematic match? Yes, but I don't believe he's going to wrestle. So I don't want to put a big damper on it. He's there. Obviously, he's going to be there. He signed a multi-year deal with them. I just don't think it's in a wrestling capacity, and I don't think he's going to wrestle. I don't think he's going to put himself in that position where he could take a bad fall. And look, you can have somebody who can, be as careful as they can be and still do damage. I'm sure Seth Rollins didn't mean to break his neck. So you can have anything happen. And I'm sure that's going to always be in the back of his mind. And Sting was, he was doing, things that he was having a good time doing. He has his ministry now. He was doing things in his life that he loved to do. I don't think he's going to jeopardize that for an injury with having one more match. So I really don't think that's going to happen. Jeff, I'll shoot it over to you. I mean, what do you foresee happening here? I mean, look, this is the one thing you got to keep in mind too through all this. He's a legend that got brought in, similar to what Vince does in WWE. He brings legends in. We all talk about this, right? You guys bring up Goldberg all the time, every stream. This is what they do. Vince will do it before WrestleMania and bring in Goldberg, bring in Undertaker whenever they think that they need a boost or they need kind of a shot in the arm. So this could be very, very similar to that. Tony Khan may have thought, you know what, we need a shot in the arm. Let's get a legend in here and let's bring in Sting. And of course, I mean, their ratings are probably going to skyrocket on next Wednesday night show because it'll be the first time that he spoke. So Jeff, where do you think they're going to go with this? I mean, like I said, I really don't think he's going to wrestle.
Yeah, I mean, we would love to see him wrestle.
Sure.
Because he is the icon Sting.
Yep.
However, you have to take a few things into consideration here. One, he's 61 years old. The fact that he's 61, I mean, it makes me feel crazy because I remember seeing bleach blonde, flat top Sting in his crazy colors back in the day.
Yep.
The other thing is spinal stenosis. That's what he dealt with. Yep. And anytime you deal with any type of injury involving the spine, that's scary because the name of the game in wrestling is taking bumps. And C Wrestling has a really good comment right here. Yeah, if he wrestled the match, I'd be sat there not enjoying the match and worried about every single bump he takes. Yes. That's where I'm at with it too. I honestly believe the best role for Sting is to come in and be a manager.
Yep.
Now, here's my caveat to that. I do think that he will have one match, and I think that'll be against Darby. And I do think it'll be a cinematic match.
Yep.
I think it'll be more about symbolism than anything else. And it'll be more about passing the torch to him and then saying, okay, you've proven yourself to me. Now I need to lead you and show you how it's done to get you from this level to the level of greatness that I see in you. That's what I think this means. Now, from the business side of it, merchandise out the wazoo.
Oh, of course.
Like that's
of course. Look,
I mean, he already had the top selling shirt in Pro Wrestling Tees within 24 hours.
Yep. I mean, just to interrupt you for 1 second, Jeff, now they can put him in their game. He can end up in their video game. He can end up, I mean, you're going to have Sting everything there. They already have like COVID masks and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, Jeff's 100% right. The merch, I mean, it's like, guys, you've seen Spaceballs, the merchandising. It's all about the merchandising. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Jeff, absolutely. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I mean, but yeah, it's going to be all about the merch. It's going to be about ratings and, really to me, in my opinion, what this move did last night was it wasn't necessarily about beating NXT in the ratings. This was a statement. This was, you can't compete with us anymore because this is the type of stuff that we're going to do to you, NXT. So try to combat what we're doing with what your roster has and compete with nostalgia, because the first thing that came out of Jim Ross's mouth was, for the first time in 18 years, Sting is back on TNT on a wrestling show. For people like myself who lived and died with the Monday Night Wars and watching between Nitro and Raw on Monday nights, this is going to get those people back into it because you have the icon Sting back on your TV screen.
Absolutely.
You can see him stand face to face with Arn Anderson again, Tully Blanchard again, with Taz, all these legends that are there now.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I just
absolutely.
I'm kind of there with you, but I do think he'll have at least one
match.
one match, and I think it'll be cinematic, but it'll be done so in a way that it's more cerebral than physical.
Yeah. No, I look, I agree. I wasn't sure about the match, but I mean, now that you mentioned it, yeah, that would be smart if they do that, and they could do cinematic matches now. So, but yeah, I get it would make sense to pass the torch to Darby. Darby is obviously looking like the guy there, and looking like he's going to be the guy there for quite a while. So it would make a lot of sense. But yeah, everything you said, very, very good points. Vince might need to make that phone call now. I wonder if Vince was on the phone with Undertaker last night. Isn't it crazy? Yeah.
I bet he was like, Mark, this is not good shit.
Mark, you need to get over here now. Yes. Yeah, I mean Vince probably just about pooped himself when this happened last night, I would imagine. So yeah, look, it's cool. It's always cool. I mean, all you saw today, all over the wrestling world and Twitter and social media and stuff like that was people reacting to this, and people, people coming out on Busted Open today. They had people calling in. I mean, they had a caller that called in and said, I haven't watched wrestling in about 7 or 8 years. And when I heard this, I switched on my TV. I saw it on social media, switched over, and I watched wrestling for the first time in 8 or 9 years. I mean, see, and that's what they want to do. That's what they're trying to do. And like I said, it's the same thing. We've seen this. We've seen this as fans of WWE. This is what Vince does. He's trying to get eyes on things, and that is what they did here. And they certainly got eyes on AEW without a doubt. A doubt. Absolutely. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Sting. I mean, obviously, we'll see next week on AEW. Next week's AEW show should be really good. I'm sure they're going to end up starting the show with him. And so we will see. C says, my only question about Sting is why the hell was it snowing? Yeah, I don't know what the deal was with the snow and the whole winter is coming stuff. Like,
winter is coming. Winter came to AEW last night. So
apparently it was snowing in Florida. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is that a reference to Game of Thrones? I mean, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where they were going with that whole thing, but yes, Sting did come in the snow, so that was something new. We never saw that before, so maybe Glacier was coming out. Maybe they stopped it and Glacier was coming out.
Oh God. They already had him once there. They don't. They didn't need another Glacier sighting.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, so all right, let's get to part 2 of yesterday, shall we?
Yeah. About this
interested me more than the Sting thing.
Yeah.
And because of Jeff and I doing Impact every Tuesday, I mean, this was amazing. This, let me tell you something. This for Impact could be absolutely huge, depending on what happens here. Of course, Kenny Omega won the title last night. He didn't win it clean. They were talking about it being this whole gentleman's arrangement between him and Moxley. Well, that crap never works out. And it didn't last night. So Don Callis threw him the microphone and he belted Mox with the mic. And he won the title the shady way, that a heel would win. And then Callis and Omega took off, running out of the building. And as they did, you always wonder about these kind of weird things too. Like when they're running out of the building, all of a sudden you see the interview guy pops up in front of them. Now, how the hell did he get out there? And how did he know that that's where they were going to go? But the interview guy's out there with the mic, and of course he holds it out. He's like, "What are you guys doing? What's going on?" And then Callis comes out and says, "Kenny Omega, we'll see you on Tuesday." And then he's like, "Well, the Dynamite's on Wednesday." And then he said, "On Impact." So, wow. Again, whatever this is going to end up being, and I'm going to tell you what I think it's going to be, and I'm going to send it over to Jeff the same way. You guys, again, can tell us in the chat what you think is going to go on here. But for one thing, thank you so much, Kenny Omega and Don Callis, because, man, our Impact stream is going to be a hell of a lot of fun. So that's number one. Number two, what do I think this is going to be? Well, look, what everybody's talking about, right? What everybody's talking about is fantasy booking today. Everyone's talking about fantasy booking. How cool would it be to see this person from Impact versus this person from AEW, so on and so forth? I did it. I went on our Twitter and I put Rosemary versus Abaddon. So I even did it too. I mean, look, it's fun. We talk about this all the time. It's so fun to do fantasy booking. It's just a cool thing that wrestling fans have done for many, 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 many years. Going back to, like Jeff said, WCW versus WWE. How cool would it have been if those two guys if Vince and Bischoff got together and did fantasy booking? Could you imagine the matches we would have gotten if they did one pay-per-view? One pay-per-view. It would have been absolutely off the charts, amazing, and would have probably been the biggest selling pay-per-view you've ever seen. So is that where they're going with this? Well, there was a little bit of news that came out from the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks, and I posted it to our Twitter if you want to read the whole story. But long story short, they kind of said that they were kind of going around and they were saying, why don't we kind of, get together with Impact and kind of do something? So they were kind of coming out and saying that it was their suggestion. We'll hear a lot about this story in the future and what it was and what it's going to be. Our own Gary Cassidy, who could not be here. Gary's been doing a ton of stuff and I'm sure he's super busy after yesterday. He kind of said that he doesn't think himself there's going to be any kind of a merger or buyout or anything like that. He said he thinks that this is a one-off. So now what does a one-off mean? So does that mean in January at Impact's pay-per-view or with, obviously Impact has one and obviously AEW has one. Do they combine pay-per-views or do they both have people at each other's show and have one big fantasy month? Now, you're going up against the Rumble. The Rumble is a big pay-per-view for WWE. So what better time to do this? And of course, now Kenny Omega goes over to Impact. Now, this is what I'm saying we're going to see. Okay. This is my prediction. And again, it's not a spoiler. I don't know. But my prediction is Kenny Omega's appearance in Impact is going to be something of a taped promo. The fact is that Impact has done all their tapings. Impact is their tapings through the end of the year are done. Jeff and I, when we had talked to Monique, she was telling us that they were all in Nashville and they were all taping and stuff like that. So they had finished up their tapings. Their tapings for December are done. Now, does that mean Kenny couldn't have shown up there? Sure, he could have. And they could have kept it a big secret, which, I mean, wow, kudos to you if you did. Because, people can get in, get pictures, if they would have seen Kenny Omega outside. But, they hid CM Punk from backstage that time. Nobody saw him. So they could have. But what I think it's going to be is I think they'll start Impact and they'll start the show. And I think Kenny Omega and Don Callis will be there in the Impact zone. I don't know that they'll have any interactions with wrestlers or if it's just going to be a promo. I'm thinking more the latter. I'm thinking it's going to be some sort of promo. I think maybe they'll state their intentions of what he's going to do, why he's there, and so on. And they'll kind of set the stage for whatever it is they're doing. Now, the overreaction to me was everybody saying, oh my God, they're going to buy out Impact. Oh my God, Impact's going to be their second show. That's been rumored. Oh my God, Impact. I pump the brakes a little bit because I don't think that's what's going to happen. Impact is doing okay. They're doing okay. Now, could they do a lot better? Sure. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think AEW, I don't think Tony Khan is shelling out money and buying out AEW or buying out Impact. I don't think that is what's going to occur. Again, my opinion. But I think that this is going to lead up to something of a fantasy type of thing. I think that whether it's a pay-per-view in January, something along those lines, I think that is what we're going to see. I think you're going to see people from Impact wrestling some people from AEW, and that's how I think it's going to play out. So let us know what you guys, of course, think while we're going along. We'll try to get your comments up there. Jeff, this is crazy. We always talk about fantasy booking. You guys know how much Jeff and I love Impact. So if this is going to do good by Impact, I'm all for it. I'm absolutely all for it. If Impact was going to lose people, like we were kind of talking about on the show that we had mentioned, of course, they lost the Rascals. And of course, maybe they're going to lose, a guy like Ethan Page. Maybe some of the female wrestlers are going to go. If that's the case, and maybe they worked out some sort of deal with Tony Khan and said, okay, if you're going to take these guys, let's work out a deal. And maybe they could wrestle in both places like EC3 is doing over at Ring of Honor, right? So if that's what's going to happen, I'm all for it. I'm absolutely all for it. Do I want to see them be bought up? No, I do not. I love Impact. I love it where it is. I love it on Tuesday nights. Could they do better? Sure. But I don't want to see them get bought out. That is not what I want to see. So I would be upset if that happened. So Jeff, go ahead, man. What do you think of all this? This is, like I said, this was crazy. I saw the Sting thing and I thought, oh my God, that must have closed the show. But then I completely missed this and I'm like, what? So go ahead.
Yeah. I will be honest with everyone, because I was going back and forth a little bit. Joe and I were talking about this last night, and I'll be honest, I wasn't a big fan of this in the beginning. One, because I didn't want people to be like, oh, well, now I have to watch Impact on Tuesday. Listen, you should have been watching it anyway, because it's been the best promotion, in my opinion, during this whole pandemic thing. But I'm happy that more eyes will be on Impact. Yep. I'm also happy that people who don't normally watch it, who now want to profit from it, want to do this too. So kudos to you two for jumping on board.
I know, right?
Okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that. But listen, there's enough for everybody. There's enough for everybody. Yes. Here's what I think is going to happen, Joe. I don't think we're going to get a pay-per-view in January.
Okay.
And I don't think these are the only two companies that are going to be a part of this. I think we will get an introduction between AEW and Impact, and I think we'll see some matches on Impact that will include some AEW folks.
Okay.
And I think we'll see some folks from Impact on AEW shows. However, I think the wild card in all of this is New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I think New Japan will come to the table a little after the beginning of the year, because if we all remember, a part of the Good Brothers deal was them being able to work in New Japan.
Yep.
We've also seen recently that Chris Bay is going to be competing in a New Japan event.
Yep.
So I throw this out. What's the best way to showcase a partnership between three companies, and when's the best time to do it? You put it opposite of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You do a big super show.
Yep.
With all three companies involved, and you put the screws to WWE, and you say, listen, this is how wrestling should be. We should all be able to work together and put on a show, because if we're doing this for the right reasons, it's all about giving the fans what they want.
Yep.
So what better way to do that than 3-4 companies coming together? And you know what? I could see Ring of Honor joining in this too.
Oh, absolutely. And there's already connections there. Yeah.
I could see these companies coming together, and WrestleMania weekend, we could possibly have this super show that takes place on Saturday.
Yep.
And then we could see WrestleMania on Sunday.
Yep.
And then the show that comes on Saturday may be so good that people are like, you know what? WrestleMania can't top that. So screw that noise.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly think that's where this is going. I really do think this is where they're going. I think that we're going to see New Japan and probably Ring of Honor. And you know what? Whoever's left right now in NWA, I wouldn't put it past them to say, you know what? Let us get on this deal. I mean, let's think about it. Could you have a fatal four-way or four-person match, and you've got Kenny Omega, Nick Aldis, Rich Swann, and whoever you want to bring in from New Japan?
Yeah.
Could you
Yep.
imagine the tag team competition with FTR or the Bucks against the Motor City Machine Guns?
Good brothers.
The Good Brother. I mean, just
Yep.
whoever you want to have. I mean,
Yep.
I think this is laying the groundwork for what can happen down the road. And I think there's no better way to do that than to get all of these companies together and say, you know what? Let's just put together a super show. Let's listen to what the fans are saying. Let's start, taking some of these fantasy booking options and really turn them into a reality.
Yep.
And you know what? Give me Abaddon. Give me Sue Young. Give me Rosemary.
Yep.
Give me Anna Jay. And give me Big Swole and Jordan Gray. I mean, there are so many matchups
Yep.
that can happen.
Absolutely,
I think
man.
this is where it's going.
Absolutely. I mean, look, they already announced, Vince already announced, he played his hand. He already announced that he was going to have this big WrestleMania in Hollywood. They mentioned that. You know that that's where they're going. If there's going to be fans in the building, that's where they are heading. They are going to La La Land. They're going to the town of entertainment to have a big, humongous WrestleMania in Hollywood, which is going to probably be headlined by Roman versus The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
So, what better way, like Jeff said, can you combat that than, like he said, to have a show? And look, if you're allowed to fly by then, and there's a good chance they will be, because the vaccines look like they're going to be out by then. If they're allowed to fly, what better place to go than over to Japan? Pack that stadium, man. It is huge there. Take these guys over there and pack that stadium. Fill that place with people. You will probably destroy any attendance record that Vince has with all of this all pro stuff going on and all of these. And what better, like Jeff said, what better way to stick it? I mean, what better way to stick it to Vince than to do something like that? Because you are talking a fantasy booked show against WrestleMania, which, will they have some cool thing? I mean, look, Vince, we were talking about Vince pulling out Taker before. Vince may end up bringing Taker, Kane, Stone Cold. He may go to his vault of legends and try to grab every single one of them that he can, who can come out and wrestle back into the ring for that WrestleMania, because that's going to be one of the only ways you're going to compete with that. You're right, Jeff. They can't. They wouldn't be able to compete with something like that.
No.
So, great call. Absolutely great call.
And the last thing that I'll say is the event would be too sweet, because we definitely get a Bullet Club reunion.
Oh, for sure.
All of that. So
for sure.
Just saying.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Big Dan. Yes, I did. I shared that on Twitter. Triple H said he's open to work. Sure he is. See, and this is where the fans are going to benefit, because if WWE now include, Triple H is starting to think, like, what's going on here? And is this starting to happen? And are they gonna, like Jeff said, are they now going to start talking to New Japan? Are they going to now start talking to, and they start to think, oh shit. Like, what? I can guarantee you that NXT and WWE are going to join forces. I can guarantee that NXT guys will be at WrestleMania without a doubt. They will bring NXT into WrestleMania. So they will try their own thing. And of course he's open to it now, because now you're seeing something that never happened before. So crazy stuff, man. Absolutely crazy stuff. We will obviously, like you guys, be keeping our eyes on this. If I see anything new coming out, I will throw it up on our Twitter, and this will be the talk of conversation up until we see Impact next week. And speaking of which, Come and join us if you haven't done so already. Now you have no excuse. Come and join us for Impact next Tuesday night. We're going to start at a special time. We're going to start at 7 p.m. Eastern time because we need to have a full hour to get ready for this.
Oh, yeah.
And get prepared for what we are going to see. So we are going to start early. Come and join us next Tuesday night. We've been here since Slammiversary doing Impact every single Tuesday since then. We will be here after everything goes down and during whatever happens. Make sure you are coming over and watching Impact with us. Okay, on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. on our channel. Subscribe, like, and make sure that you hit that notifications button so that you get reminded of when we'll be on this coming Tuesday night for Impact. So
That's it.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
We've got one more piece of news.
We do.
All of this got lost.
It did. It kind of got buried, didn't it?
It got buried in all of this stuff. But shout out to Des Xavier, Zach Wentz, and all of the folks in the new class.
Yep.
Of the PC for WWE. We're closer to seeing Desi and Wentz in WWE, inside a WWE ring, and I'm really excited to see what they do with them. So shout out to them and the new class for being there, and I can't wait to see them on TV.
Yeah, I mean, we all knew that this was coming. We knew that those guys where they were headed. So yes, obviously, them being in the Performance Center, it was, the rumor was they were going to NXT, and of course, yes, we wish them all the best. Leaving Impact was, sad to see them go, but obviously, you like to see the athletes getting their due, getting their time to shine, getting their time in the sun, and hopefully, they will prove. And I have no doubt. I know they will. They're tremendous athletes, and I know they will prove themselves there, and you will see them on NXT at some point very, very soon. So
yeah,
yes,
and
absolutely.
I think what's notable about this photo is that there's no Trey Miguel.
Yeah, where's Trey? A lot of people ask that.
Trey?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So, yeah, I mean, did he kind of get advanced through already? Is he going to show up in NXT already? Did they kind of think he was more prepared than perhaps other people? Is he not there? Did he end up somewhere else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shall see.
We shall. Keep an eye out. Keep watching here. We'll have it for you if that happens. Sonny, I saw the third monolith appeared in California.
Good Lord.
This thing is I'm telling you, it's either aliens or it's somebody doing a really cool viral marketing campaign for a 2001 remake. That movie's been begging for a remake in the sci-fi world. I mean, that thing came out in 1969. So that's been begging for a remake. So maybe someone's doing that, and maybe that's why they're putting these monoliths all over the place. It could be. That's kind of what people are thinking now. But yeah, it's either that or, yeah, I mean, 2020 is going to get even more crazy, one or the other.
Yeah, so, I mean, either we are going to see how Independence Day, the movie, plays out in real life, or someone has a really cool idea.
If that happens, dude, I want to give the speech. I want to do the speech. Look, if we get invaded by aliens, you guys all need to come here. You guys all need to come on. We're going to do one last stream, and I'm going to come out and I'm going to give the big speech that the president gave at Independence Day and get everybody all fired up. So I want to make sure that you meet us here, and I'm going to come out and I'm going to give the big speech that was given in Independence Day to get everybody all psyched up to go and fight the aliens. So if that happens, make sure that you come over because that's what we're going to do. Yeah. So there you go. So they are the big news stories of the last 3 days. It wasn't even the week. This just all happened in the last 3 days. So this has been absolutely crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
All right, man. You ready to get all toasty?
Let's do this. We need a fire. It's getting cold in the Northeast, man. It's getting a little. Yeah, getting a little chilly. We got some
Yeah.
snow the other day out here, and we're supposed to get another big snowstorm, I think, coming up on Saturday into Sunday. So, yeah, let's all put our hands by the fire, shall we? And get a little toasty with the hot topic is up next. What do we got?
Yeah. So let's talk about NWA.
Let's do that.
Because, they've lost a lot of talent. They've lost a lot of key personnel throughout this year.
They have.
So, Joe, what do you think the losses of key wrestlers and personnel mean for the future of NWA? And folks in the chat, let us know too. Give us your opinions too.
Yeah, let us know. I mean, obviously, we heard. I got a little excited, I have to say, because we heard about them coming back to YouTube, and I kind of thought, oh, okay, they're doing something. Well, then I found out not so much. They're just showing the same stuff that people actually paid for, which probably didn't make a lot of people happy that they paid for it in the first place, and then could watch it free. Anyway, this is such a hard thing for me to talk about because I really, really, like I said, we enjoyed it. I know Jeff did. I liked it. I thought it was good. It was nostalgia. It brought me back to when I watched it as a kid. And but look, there's gonna come a point in time. And now today, Zicky Dice was out on Twitter saying that when his contract ended, so I'm guessing he's probably gonna be gone too. They've lost so much. They've lost so much. Thunder Rosa showed up on a dub last night again and attacked Dr. Britt Baker. So obviously it looks like Thunder Rosa's gone. Yeah, I mean, when is it past the point of there just being too much is gone? Nick Aldis is still there, yes, but I mean the losses are getting just too numerous. And what does it mean for the future? I gotta say it's a little bit bleak. I gotta say it's a little bit bleak at this point because, I mean, unless something like Jeff said happens, where unless they kind of jump, maybe Billy Corgan jumps on the bandwagon with this Impact stuff and this AEW stuff and kind of gets them involved with something. I really don't know. I don't know because their show on YouTube relied so much on that studio that without that, it's not the same thing. It's just not the same thing. And they can't do it. It's close quarters. People have to be together. People have to be all in those little, in those few stands that they had there. And yeah, Jason says, I have a bad feeling we've seen the end of it. Yeah, I just don't. Look, I loved it. We were a part. Jeff and I we're a part of that. They call it hashtag NWA fam. We're a part of that. And we've met some great people there. Dr. Robert Stinson and several others who do podcasts over there. We've met some great people. We've talked to some great people, and I enjoyed it. And am I happy about this? No, but I think it's just. I think they've lost too much. I think they've really, really lost too much. And I think you're going to start to see if Zicky bails, other people like Camille. And then of course, I think Nick Aldis eventually. I just don't see them hanging around because what do you have left? What do you have left? So no, I don't, I think it's bad. I think they've lost too much. And I don't know. I hope I'm wrong because look, anytime there's more shows to watch, it's cool, man. Because all the it's cool for the fans. Fans love this brand. It's been around forever. And there's such good memories of it. I mean, Jeff has personal memories of this. So nobody wants to see it go. But I just don't see it coming back. I just don't.
Yeah, I mean, I was a part of one of the affiliates of NWA and down in Georgia. So, that's where I got my opportunity to wrestle. But you know what? I'm gonna throw this out there. And maybe if we put we put all this fantasy booking stuff into the universe, Joe, several months ago. So if I put this out into the universe, maybe just maybe this will happen. I think there needs to be a conversation between one Billy Corgan and Tony Khan. Tony Khan and AEW have a reserved spot for a second show. I think NWA and AEW need to partner and not like what we're thinking is going to happen with Impact, but I think they actually need to merge. And this would be the perfect opportunity to create that second show that AEW has been talking about for some time and have your NWA stars, but also have your folks that are always on AEW Dark and combine that show. And that gives you an opportunity to have the NWA stars on TV, but you also get the people that have been on Dark on YouTube an opportunity to gain some experience on TV. I think it's the best of both worlds. But I honestly believe that if that doesn't happen or something close to it, I think it's going to be really difficult for NWA to survive because you're more than likely Thunder Rosa is going to sign full time with AEW. At some point, Zicky Dice, I think his contract is up in 30 days.
Yep.
He's going out the door.
I believe so.
You got to believe, and spoiler alert here, Camille lives in Nashville, folks.
Yeah.
There just happens to be a little company that's getting a lot of buzz right now by the name of Impact Wrestling that's also located in Nashville.
Yep. Hop, skip, and a jump.
Hop, skip, and a jump. And then if you lose, like Big Dan says, if Nick Aldis leaves, you're screwed.
Yeah, you're done.
You really are done.
Yep.
So you have to be proactive in this. And I mean, I think that's the way NWA survives, is that you say, listen, we need to work with AEW. We need to do something together. You have an open spot potentially for another show. Let's make this thing work.
Yep.
That's what I hope happens. But if not, then it's going to be difficult to see it come back.
Yeah, I agree. I like I said, that's a great solution, and that's what would be best for the fans, and that's what would be best for all of the, like I said, the good people we talked about that we met, and the people who do a lot of the podcasts about NWA and have stuck with NWA and are in on NWA. That would be the best solution for everyone. So I hope so too. I don't want to see them go. I don't want to see them go. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed the show. I loved some of the characters that were on the show, and I liked it. It brought me back to a world of wrestling that I watched when I was 10 years old. So, I agree. I absolutely agree. Let me read a couple of comments here quickly. Do you think it's possible? Joey's Adventure says AEW Impact to do a Raw and SmackDown type of roster draft? I don't think so. Mm-hmm. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to go that direction. I think this is kind of going to be whatever it's going to lead up to. I think it's going to be a one and done. Are you suggesting NWA becomes AEW's NXT? Says Big Dan.
I think more or less like a second brand. So if you're going to equate it to WWE, becoming the SmackDown to AEW Dynamite, that second show.
There you go.
That kind of thing, not necessarily being developmental, by nature, but kind of being that second brand that we have there that has a different roster, that has some different unique things going on, but not necessarily a developmental type of brand, because I think NWA definitely has some established stars, and they don't need to kind of go down to that level. I don't think, even though I don't think NXT is really a developmental brand anymore, but I mean, in some ways it is, but I think more or less a second
show. Yeah.
A second show.
Yep. Good point. Jason says, I really have a bad feeling that we've seen the end of NWA. Rusty said Camille needs to be a star somewhere. Absolutely. Awesome sauce to 20091. Hello to you, by the way. Elijah says, did you listen to Triple H Media Call? He has become the game again. I don't want a 3-year partnership. I want a 10-year deal in partnership. And of course, Jesse's here. Hello, Jesse Calynn. Welcome. Nice to see you. And Jesse's telling everybody to make sure you like the stream and subscribe to the channel. Yes, if you haven't done that already, thank you, Jesse. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit the notifications button as well, because we are on every Tuesday for Impact, if we haven't told you already. Yes. So MTS says, Jeff and Joe, that wood fire in the background is too cozy. It is. I know. I'm warming my hands on it right as we speak. Yes, it is. It kind of looks like the whole Yule log thing a little bit, doesn't it? That you get on Christmas. Yeah. Oh, all right. So that is our hot topic for the week. What have we got next, Jeff?
All right, man. So I think we need to talk about our favorite moments.
Yes. Well, I'm sure probably we're going to get maybe a couple of little repeats of things here, but all right, man, Jeff, let's start it off. What was your number 3?
Oh, man, number 3. You know what? It's been such a crazy week that I don't even know what my number 3 is right now. No, I'm joking. My number 3 for the week, seeing Jazz return to action.
Yep, that was cool.
That's my number 3 of the week. She's a legend. And if you're listening to this or watching this and don't know who Jazz is, go look her up on YouTube. Absolute legend in the business. And for her to be with Jordan Grace, who, if anyone watches us on Tuesday nights, you know how I feel about Jordan Grace.
Yes.
Honestly, it was just great to see. So shout out to Jazz for being back in the ring and for also starting a wrestling school with a friend of the show, Thunder Rosa.
Yeah. No, great call. This was a tough week to this was a tough week to call, because I mean a lot of this came at the last second. So I'm going to go with, I got to see something I never saw. And when we get into these top 3s, some of this stuff, and I sometimes I say it's my mark out moments. Well, it was a mark out moment for me because I never got to see this. I saw a bunch of creepy ass bridesmaids. Where did that come from? I saw bridesmaids on Impact. I'm like, what is this? And people knew what was coming. And like Jeff was kind of trying to warn me, like, I hope they don't like go over and start crawling backward. Thank God that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I might have vomited. But yes, I got to see. Of course, the result wasn't good. Sue Young, of course, got carted off. Father James Mitchell got brought in.
Tazzy. Close your ears, Tazzy.
I know, Tazzy. Yes, Tazzy didn't see it. But Deanna and, of course, Kimber, they made a deal with the devil. They made a deal with James Mitchell, and he provided. The bridesmaids came out. Deanna attacked Sue. She got her to kind of swallow that, this was a cool thing too. Like she literally choked her out, made her swallow that stuff that she spits. And then that was it. She fell unconscious and the bridesmaids took her away. So Sue Young is gone from Impact, and we're probably going to see Susie back now for the foreseeable future. But my question is now, what is the payment for the devil? That's what I want to know. What do Kimberly and Deanna Purrazzo have to pay for Sue Young being taken out of there, man? Because the devil's got to get paid, and what exactly is that payment going to be? So we'll see. It's never a good thing when you enlist the devil. So what exactly is going to get, what is that payment going to be? So that was my number 3 moment. Absolutely loved it. Again, adding to that Sue Young character and that horror character. And again, something I never saw before. And of course, if you were watching Impact and you were a fan of Impact prior to, to this, and then you had seen this before. So really, really cool that I got to see that. So that's my number 3. What's your number 2, man?
Oh man, my number 2 is hopefully, and it's 2 things really. Hopefully we've seen the end of Jeff Hardy against Elias.
Oh my goodness.
But the fact that Jeff Hardy was able to get up
Oh yeah, that looked ugly.
after that nasty, nasty spot where he takes a dive outside of the ring and
Yep.
hit his head on that bottom step of
Yep.
those steel steps.
Yep.
Oh my God. Like, I'm just so happy that he was able to get up and kind of shake things off, because that was scary.
Yep.
And honestly, had he not hit his head flush on the step and hit the corner of it, we're probably having a very, very different discussion
Yep.
about Jeff Hardy. And the last thing I want to say about that is I saw someone kind of mention online, and I swear I need to stay off Twitter sometimes. But someone mentioned, well, people were so critical of AEW when the same thing happened to Matt. No, Matt got knocked out.
He did.
And the medical staff, I won't go through that again because we already have, but Matt was out completely, knocked himself out. Jeff was alert. I think he absolutely got his bell rung,
Oh, I'm sure.
but he was never out. And it was the last spot of the match. All he had to do was reach his arm over and cover Elias. That was it. I'm pretty sure he got a thorough examination after that.
Yeah.
So they're not the same. They're not the same issues, but that's my number 2 moment.
Yeah, no, great call. And I mean, we're obviously all happy that Jeff is okay because that did look really, really scary when that happened. Absolutely. Hayden, there you go. My favorite moment of the week, probably appearing in Thunderdome for the first time. Congrats,
Yeah,
dude. It's awesome. That's fun stuff. I really enjoyed my time when I was there the first night that it was on. And appearing on TV, it's always cool to see yourself on TV, isn't it? That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Congrats. And I hope you get back in. I know it's a fun thing to do. I know Jesse's been in there a couple times and other people in our chat have been in there as well. So good for you. That's a great moment, dude. My number 2, seeing the Bray and Randy Orton thing getting going, man. We have all wanted this for the longest time, and you knew that Raw was leading off with Alexa and a moment of bliss and Randy Orton, so everybody kind of knew where this was going, but we got a bit of a swerve. Now we know that Randy's a heel, so that's not going to change. They're not going to change Randy from what he is because that's what he does, and Randy does a great heel. We all know that. So, but what we didn't see coming was, first of all, what in the hell was that doll in the middle of the ring? I want to know that one. And secondly, but of course, I'll leave that to the experts and leave that to Abby's window for Monday. And then, of course, we got the whole thing where Alexa ended up in Randy's arms. We had Bray come out. Bray went over, and Bray said, "Give me my Alexa," and stuck out his arms and asked to get Alexa back. And then he got Alexa back. And then, of course, Randy left the ring, and Randy was laughing, saying, "I got you, man. I got you. Who's laughing now? I know your weakness." So now, look. We all know that Alexa's probably playing them. Alexa was making the comments beforehand. So this is probably all a big play. What comes of this? I don't know. That was amazing. And we've all waited for this forever. And whether this is going to happen at TLC, whether they're going to spread it out, is it going to be TLC? Maybe that will be, I don't know. Maybe it'll be Funhouse Bray. Maybe it'll be Cult Leader Bray. And then maybe we get something at Rumble as well. I have a feeling this will go more than one pay-per-view. So but the fact that it has started now, awesome. That was my number 2. We've been waiting for this forever, and I'm leaving the rest to Jeff and Jody to talk about on Monday. So, yep.
All right, man. Well, my number 1 moment of the week. I mean, do we really even have to say it?
Yeah, mine's going to probably be the same too. So it's going to be unanimous across the board, probably.
Sting returning.
Right.
And you know what? Whether he wrestles or not, the fact that we get to see Sting again is enough for me.
Yep.
Growing up, he's been one of my favorites since I was introduced to him way back in the day with the Blade Runners, when he was with Jim Hellwig, aka the Ultimate Warrior. He's been one of my favorites since then,
Yeah.
and what he did for WCW, carrying the mantle there for so long and being so synonymous with WCW, then going to TNA, doing what he did in TNA. And I think I saw Jody Moncrief saying that AEW needs Joker Sting. Please give me more of Joker Sting. If you never saw
Yeah, that was
Sting
great.
as Joker Sting in TNA, go look it up on YouTube, because him as the Joker type, gimmick was absolutely amazing. But but yeah, just seeing Sting is such a great thing, and no matter where he,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
happy.
true. Yeah, and I'm gonna totally agree with you, dude. I can't you can't top that. Uh
Right.
I mean, look, like Jeff said, I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. I've been since I was a younger man, and of course the WCW days. I mean, you couldn't have played that off any better. With the whole thing with Hogan and how the NWO was so big, and it just looked like nothing was going to take them out, and then all of a sudden you got that appearance of Big Dan's mentioning it, Crow Sting, when he appeared up in the rafters and you heard that snippet from the Crow film, and I mean, honest to God, you want to talk about a markout moment, and that was absolutely amazing. And then from then on, the whole thing with him against the NWO, and then but Sting, yes, I mean, absolutely is an icon. And for me, I'll be honest, I'm upset now that I didn't see it yesterday. I really am, because you kind of when you see all of this, and I was watching a lot of the videos on Twitter earlier today, and a lot of people's videos where they got to mark out to it, and I'm sad that I missed it, because you don't get moments like that very often. So you don't that doesn't come a lot. You don't get that a lot in wrestling, and I'm kind of wishing now that I did get to see it. So I'm a little upset that I didn't. But of course, you have the magic of video, and you could always watch it and stuff like that. But it's never the same that when you don't get to see it happen live. And so yeah, I mean, you can't beat that as a number one moment of the week. Absolutely cannot beat it. Where it goes from here, we will see. But it's great to have him back, and it's great to see that he is back in the ring, and he's doing what he loved to do, and it's always amazing to see Sting. So yeah, I agree absolutely, man. So
Good
there
stuff.
is our top three. So our top three moments of the week. What were your top moments? I know some people were talking about the Fiend. Sonny mentioned Fiend and Alexa. Sean Rousset says Sting returning was amazing. Of course, Eric saying I love Sting. I'm not even going to read past. I love Sting, but Goldberg. I'm not even going past that. I'm not even going past that anymore. So I love Sting, but Goldberg. Good God. But yeah. So yes, tell us what your moments of the week were. But I mean, it was such a big thing. Big Dan said Ric Flair once said about Sting, he was our ultimate warrior, but he was 10 times better. Yeah, I mean, great guy. From what I understand, I've never had the pleasure of meeting him, but I've heard great things about him, and it is always great to see a legend come back. So, all right, so there you go. There are our three moments of the week, and I think we've got a returning segment coming up, don't we?
Oh, we've got a little sell or no sell return.
Look at that. Look at that. What's old is new again. We mentioned this, and look, we love this segment. We did, and we're bringing it back. Well, why? Because it's our show, and we can. So,
Yeah.
so yeah.
That's the simplest answer to that.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I mean, easy enough. So we're going back to this. I mean, you guys all remember Jeff sometimes played the heel. I sometimes played the heel. So I'm going to let Jeff, what is, and obviously it's up on the screen there. Topic number one, retribution, as I like to call them, retribution, has already fizzled out. So you know what my answer is going to be to this. Sell. Yes, sell. They're done. They're absolutely done. They're done. Look, you can't bring in a group and try to make them this mean, nasty new group that's going to be, and then we got them attacking generators and busting glass. You guys all know how this story went. And then we got the mask reveal, which was kind of, still look at them. You got Hannibal Lecter, you got Predator, you got Bane, you got a bad-looking paper mache Jason, and then it's just bad, man. It's just bad. And then you got the reveal of the hacker thing. Okay, so then we kind of thought, all right, well, the hacker's coming back. So okay, are they going to tie that in? They lose all their matches. They lose all their damn matches. I mean, Mia Yim finally had her first match the other night, and she lost. She absolutely, she just came out and flat out lost. She also lost her mask. So whether that was even planned or not. But this is just bad. Like, I don't know where they go with this. I don't know what they can do to make this better. Take their masks off, I guess, and let them just be who they were. Let them be Dijakovic and let them be Dio Madden and let them just be who they were in this group, I guess. I have no idea. I don't know where you go from here, Jeff. And yes, they're done. I can't see that they can fix this anymore now.
Well, I am going to say no, Sal.
Oh, okay.
It's so good to bring those sound effects back. By the way,
I know, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
But I do think that they can. I do think that they can revive this. It's just going to, especially after Monday with Mia Yim's mask coming off. I think that now's the time to do quote unquote the big reveal. So and Big Dan stole my idea. So darn it,
Big Dan, what are you doing?
Whatever night it was, it was James Chadwick. Tonight it's Big Dan. They've got to have someone like a Shane McMahon or someone like that be revealed as like the mastermind behind it to really start giving them marching orders. Like, I think that's the way you plan this out, is you say, okay, this mastermind is like, look, I let you guys run this on your own. You failed me. Now I have to show you how to get this thing done. And then that mastermind starts to push all the buttons. And you know what? I actually wouldn't mind if it was someone else. And Joe, you're probably going to think I'm crazy, but like it at the same time. This would be very different. But why not have someone like Mickie James?
Oh, that's interesting. She's certainly got a reason.
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Well, okay.
She's a legend.
Yep.
We certainly in her early days saw the crazy side come out.
Yes, we did.
So what better way than to have someone like that kind of be at the controls of this group and just kind of take control and push the buttons and watch her minions work.
See, I love this kind of stuff, and now I'm going to be sad if that doesn't happen because I love Mickie James. So now I'm going to be really disappointed. Now I'm really mad. Now I'm getting going. Now I'm getting going because I would love to see that.
Universe. I put it in. WWE has a creative position opening.
Man, dude.
WWE, if you need me, just hit me up.
There you go. Hit up Jeff. Yes. That would be awesome. I would absolutely love that. All right, man. What's topic 2?
Topic 2. We've talked about this guy a lot tonight. Well, why not talk about him a little bit more? AEW should purchase NWA. I kind of already spoiled that, but go ahead and give your thoughts.
Yeah. You know what? Again, look, for the fact that the facts that I said before, I'm going to sell this because I don't really see. Yeah, I don't really see any other way out at this point. And just for the sake of the fact that it will save the brand, I would say yes. Why not? I mean, look, they don't have a ton of people left there. There already are so many of their superstars that are in AEW anyway. And the women that are still there can certainly help AEW's women's division as well. And we all know AEW needs a lot of help with that women's division. People to spotlight. My goodness, they've been spotlighting the NWA title for the women more than they have their own. So, true. I mean, it's only going to help them if they do it. It's only going to bring some of these guys back, and I would get to see the question mark in AEW, and I'm all for that one, man. I'm all for that one. And look, Tony Khan's about the merch. I mean, what better way to get a guy to have merch, man? You can make question mark merch. Yeah, I mean, so why not? Yes, I will sell this. If it's going to be something that can save that brand, then by all means do it. And again, like you were saying, if they do make it a second show, what's to say that once the studio comes back, they can't give them their studio nostalgia back, but have it on a bigger TV channel where more people can see it, not just on YouTube, where it reaches out to more people and they get to watch it. And they can do, they'll have a bigger budget. They can do some different things. They can have some better special effects and some better things going on in there. Yeah, I'm all for it. For it.
I mean, and can you imagine? Well, I'm gonna go ahead. I mean, I've already said this, but
I love it.
Can you imagine them recreating the old school World Championship Wrestling set in a bigger scale?
It'd be cool
for NWA. And just like Big Dan, me and you, buddy, we're on the same wavelength tonight. And yes, it should be a Saturday show. 6:05 on a Saturday night.
That'd be awesome.
So Saturday night wrestling. I mean, that's what we've been missing for so long. And why not do it? And that's the perfect way to do it. They're already in Atlanta. Tony Khan, as the kids say, his money is very long. So, I mean, my goodness, why not do this? Bring back the nostalgia, but also highlight your talented wrestlers that are already on the AEW roster that we don't see on TV, but we see on AEW Dark. Let's start to see some of that, and then you can treat your AEW Dark as kind of like an NXT show in some ways, and give that spotlight to up and coming independent talent. So then now you've got another avenue for independent talent like your Warhorse or AJ Gray or some of these other people out there who can showcase their talent to a larger audience at that point.
Yeah, no, great point. And like I said, money talks. And, if these guys can get a little bit of money behind them, why wouldn't Tony Khan want to say that, hey, I now have the NWA, which is one of the richest wrestling federations in tradition and in history in my pocket. And I now have them and can be the guy who was in charge of helping them come back. Billy, he could give it to Billy Corgan. He could say, all right, this is yours. Obviously you're going to be under me, but this is yours to do with what you want. You were the guy who did it. But absolutely. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
What is our last topic for the debates, Jeff?
All right, man. I'm having fun. We got to do this again next week.
Yes.
Impact Wrestling has been the best promotion during the pandemic. So
this one's probably going to get the chat all crazy.
Yeah,
especially those ones that have not watched Impact with us. And I think I know where both Jeff and I are going to go. I'm going to sell this. Yes. There is no question. I have saw maybe, honest to God, one show. And you guys are going to say we're homers because we're watching Impact all the time. But like we told you, they're not paying us to say anything. So we're just doing it because this is what we see and this is what we like. We've watched this since Slammiversary, and I can honestly tell you all that I haven't watched it before. I wasn't watching it before Slammiversary. So, yes, there is no question. There is no question to me, because the other brands have been up, they've been down, they've been up, they've been down. You know, one week you get a great SmackDown, the next week not so much. One week you get a great Raw, the next week not so much. One week you get, you know, AEW's got some great things going on. The next week it's bleh. And then, you know, one week you get a really cool NXT, and then a couple weeks in a row you get not so good NXT. I think when we were all doing our ratings, when Jeff and I were doing all our ratings on this show, we may have had one show that fell around the 7 or a 7.5, and that's been it. All of the other shows we've rated highly. And again, like I said, you know, we do watch alongs for everything. So, and I watch mostly everything that I can. So I watch Raw, I watch SmackDown, and I watch, the only ones I can't watch right up front are NXT and AEW because they're both on the same night, but I try to get to them. So I watch these shows. Just because we don't do watch alongs for the other ones doesn't mean I don't watch them. I do. And I'm telling you guys, and you all have your own opinions for all of this stuff, and you can certainly disagree or agree with us. But absolutely, they are the most consistent show during, yes, and that's the question, has been the best promotion during the pandemic. So we're talking from March to now, without question. Without question to me. I don't think it's even close.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even close.
Obviously, I'm going to agree with you.
I love it.
And I want to preface this by saying, like you said, Joe, listen, these are our opinions.
Yes.
We're not saying that they're fact. This is just how we feel about it. And, you know, obviously you guys are commenting in the chat, and we welcome that. Yep. We don't want to sway your opinion either way.
Nope.
All we can do is speak on what we've seen, and that's what we're doing. And here's what I'll say, because Joe, you brought up the word consistent.
Yep.
Consistently, Impact has had phenomenal shows. They've had phenomenal pay-per-views. They've had amazing Impact Plus exclusive shows. And the one thing that I'll say about it is that Impact doesn't rely on one storyline or two storylines. Impact has revolving storylines.
Yeah.
From Rich Swann and Moose at the top of the card with this championship, and now Chris Bay is involved, all the way down to Brian Myers and Swoggle. Yeah. I mean, they have something for everyone, even Cody Deaner and Johnny Swinger. I mean, everyone has a story that you can follow. Yep. And it has just about everything that you can look for. It has the great wrestling with your X division, the high flying, fast paced stuff. It's got your serious tones with certain people, especially Eric Young. And let me tell you, guys, if you haven't watched Impact and you remember Eric Young as being kind of like a jobber in WWE, I'll challenge you to watch Impact Tuesday night. He has a match against Cody Deaner.
Yep.
Watch that. Watch the promo that he cuts either before or after, and just Impact.
And how about the tag teams, Jeff?
Oh my God.
I mean, the tag. See, and this is, you know, Bleacher Report was just talking today about WWE's tag teams, and they had a big list. And this is really an eye opener. They had a list of how many tag teams WWE dissolved, how many of them that they got rid of in this year alone. Some of them because of releases, some of them because they broke them up. Heavy Machinery gone, the Iconics gone. They're just destroying it. They're just destroying it, which means to me they don't care about it anymore. I mean, yes, you have the New Day, you have Miz. You don't even have Miz and Morrison anymore. They're not a tag team anymore. Morrison's a glorified valet, so they don't even have them together. You have the New Day, and you have you have the Street Profits. Yeah, I mean, and that's really it. It's lost. They've lost the tag team division, and I am a tag team fan, man. I liked it when I was a kid, and I still like it. I think it's great when it's done well, and man, they are killing it with tag teams. AEW is great as well. They have a great tag team division. They rely on tag teams there also, so I'm not going to forget that. But man, Impact is just, I mean, this stuff is important to me as a fan. I love tag team wrestling, and they're absolutely killing it. Go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry.
And honestly, I mean, that's a great point. If you haven't, the North versus the Motor City Machine Guns 1 and 2, classic tag team matches. Definitely can be among the conversation of match of the year.
Kudos to Ethan and Josh too, because they got voted like really high up on PWI Insiders Tag Teams of the Year. That's amazing. For being in a small company like that, a smaller company, I should say. You know, oftentimes you don't get the recognition. But who were they going to vote for in WWE? You know what I mean? You've got, like I said, you got New Day and Street Profits. So who were they going to bring up there? WWE should be leading that list. They should have, they should have 15 people in the top 30, but because they don't care about tag teams anymore, that's what allows these guys to get in it. But yeah, man, the North is amazing. Motor City Machine Gun's amazing. Now you have brothers thrown into the mix. Triple XL are killing it now. They got kudos on Bleacher Report saying that, those guys have really come a long, long way. You had the Rascals before they left. I mean, they're absolutely killing it with tag teams.
Yeah. And I mean, the other last 2 points I'll make here, one on tag team. The women's tag team tournament.
Oh, that's great now. Yep.
Is tremendous. They're bringing back the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. Tremendous. And as individuals, the Knockouts division, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll get some heat for it, but whatever. You want to talk about fantasy booking? Give me a fantasy booking of a series between WWE's women's talent and the Knockouts division. I mean, it will just be tremendous. But the Knockouts division from top to bottom is amazing. And they're not all similar storylines. They're different, which makes it more appealing. And you've got a variety of different types of talent in the Knockouts division. You've got your powerful wrestlers like Havoc and Nevaeh. Then you've got your, kind of acrobatic folks like Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz. Then you've got your powerhouse like Jordan Grace. You've got your creepy characters like Rosemary and Sue Young. I mean, there's just so much. Then you have your technical skills from someone like Deonna Purrazzo. I could keep going. But I won't. But, I mean, it's just they're that's why they're the top for me. But I mean, obviously, everyone is entitled to their opinion. So.
Absolutely. And you know what? This is a great segue too into what we're going to, and I talked to you guys about this a little bit earlier this week when we did the Impact stream. Get ready because we're going to ask you these questions. We're going to actually poll you guys on what you guys think because we're going to get our awards ready. And I think I named them, the TIGs. Yes, they're the TIGs. We're going to have our TIGs awards. And we're going to, that's going to be fun. So we're going to have our award show coming up soon. So we're going to let you guys give your input into that. And of course, we will pick the winners from what you guys vote. So get ready to look for that kind of stuff on Twitter. When we put those posts out, make sure you vote in those polls. I'll let them out there for a little bit longer than I normally do. I think I usually leave them out a day, but I'll leave them out for a couple days. This way people can catch them if they have not already done that. Okay. Where are we at, Jeff? I know we're keeping you guys a little overtime tonight. I appreciate you being with us because again, we had some new stuff. Of course, we had all that big breaking news to go through. Yes. So what to watch for in the coming week? This is a little different kind of a new thing we have as well now. A little bit of a preview as to what to watch for. So, obviously coming up on SmackDown tomorrow night. I mean, yes, we have War Games on Sunday. So what to watch for with us? We are teaming up with DJ B Tazzy for the War Games stream this coming Sunday night, December 6th. There you see it starts at 7 Eastern. Jeff and Tazzy will be with you to start. They will be here at 6:45 before the show. Make sure you join Tazzy because I know he's got his cooking show, and I think he has his mom. Tazzy's mom's going to join him, and she's done peach cob. They've done peach cobbler. So make sure you join Tazzy for what should be a cool preview stream, a cool tailgate stream with him. And then we will be doing War Games on Sunday, so we will be streaming that. I know, just found out earlier that WWE is doing the tribute to the troops, and they're doing it at the same damn time, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Don't know why, but hey, I've said, and I said this in some chats, why? Because it's Vince, and he does some stupid things sometimes. So, but you know, some people have asked about, are you going to talk about, are you going to stream, the tribute to the troops? Well, we can't, because we're going to be streaming War Games. So yes, make sure you are there for that. And then obviously we have Abby's Window on the show on Monday, which of course they will be talking to you guys at length about what happened with Randy Orton and the Fiend. They'll be talking to you about that. And then of course we are back next Tuesday. Man, oh man. Days Fan. Yeah, I don't know if they exactly start at the same time. I think Tribute to the Troops might start at 8. But they're close enough to the fact that they're going to overrun each other. So pretty dumb. But anyway, next Tuesday, guys, if you have not yet come aboard for Impact, next Tuesday is the night. Next Tuesday is the night. If you are a wrestling fan, you are a Kenny Omega fan, if you are an AEW fan, you need to join us for Impact next Tuesday night. We, like I said earlier, Jeff and I have been here. We know the wrestlers. We know the show. We know what's going on. Yes, there will be people. I'm sure there will be now tons of people that will be streaming Impact that wouldn't have given it a look before yesterday. And that's fine. And that's fine. But all I'm saying is come over to the guys that have been with them since Slammiversary. Come over to the guys who know who the people are, what the storylines are, and join us on Tuesday, because this could be one of the biggest Impact shows ever that we have ever seen. So this could be a huge, huge night for Impact. So make sure
and
we're starting
I'd
early.
like to add something.
Yep.
When all of the AEW stuff is over, we'll still be here.
Yes, that is true. That is very true. So when all the hype dies down, we will remain. And that is very true. So yeah. So make sure you join us. That will be 7 instead of 7:30. So we're going to start a half an hour early, because I think we're going to have a lot to talk about and a lot to ponder, as you will, before that show starts. So there you go. That is what to watch for in the upcoming week that we have coming up. And now it is that time. Jesse, you are up. And I think Jessie said she has 5 jokes, man. 5 jokes. It is that time of the evening where we end the show with a laugh. So, Jesse Calynn, it is your turn up. Your turn to go. And while Jesse's getting ready, again, thank you all for joining us tonight and every night. All the nights. Some of you guys had some amazing comments today. I think James Chadwick, shout out to you. I know Jeff responded to it. I responded to it. James had said, that it's been a very tough year. I'm not going to exactly quote you because I can't remember that well from when I read it. But he said, it's been a trying year. And he thanked some people for keeping him going throughout the year. And we were one of the people that he thanked. Really appreciate that, dude. You don't know how much that means to Jeff and myself. That is why we do this. You guys are the reason why. You've always have been from the start. And the fact that you've hung around with us through these last, 8-9 months means a lot, because we wouldn't be here. if you weren't here. It's as simple as that. Me and Jeff could just talk to each other on the phone. And we certainly wouldn't be doing this on the internet. So yeah, thanks for the amazing comment. I think we got some comments too from Big Dan as well, saying that he met some really good friends through us and through this. And I think we had some other comments. I think Imtiaz chimed in as well. So that's amazing. And we could never thank you guys enough for things like that. And we could never say enough about comments like that. So, okay. Jesse says, since today's December 3rd, I decided I will do 5 jokes for you tonight. What is the correlation between these? Nothing. But I bet it had you all thinking for that first sentence. You did. So yeah. So there you go. Thank you for those amazing comments out on the Twitters. We really, really appreciate that. And I'm glad we can bring you some joy, in what was a very, very, very tough year for a lot of people. So we've got a countdown. Lots of countdowns, actually. Geez, Days fan 3 2 3 2 1 3 2 3 1 3 2. My goodness. The chat's full of numbers. It's full of numbers. It looks like the Matrix. Now we've got a 1, we've got a 2, we got a. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on.
Faces in there.
Okay, here we go. Joke number 1. PMS jokes aren't funny. Period. Oh, nice. Oh God, Jesse, nice. Oh man, Little T says good night. Little T, good night to you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Really, really appreciate it. Joke comedy time with Calynn Corner. Yes. Sonny says good Lord. Yeah. All right, number 2. Jesse says, I tried to catch some fog. I missed. Oh, that's a knee slapper right there. That's a bump right there. Yes. That was Rusty saying, OMG. Tazzy's cracking up laughing. James Chadwick this year would have sucked for me anyway without all this COVID stuff. I know, man. It just kind of compounded some things for some people. Yeah, like I said, I just hope that you can get a little bit of a bright light in the darkness sometimes. I know it's hard. Hayden's dying. All right, number 3. Jesse says, all the toilets in New York's police station have been stolen. Police have nothing to go on. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Very nice. I like that one. That was cute. I like it. Everybody's cracking up now. We have Dave's fan with laugh emojis. Laugh emojis from DJ B Taz. He says, wow. Dave's fan says, good one. Hayden Garrett laughing. LMAO. Hayden Garrett's laughing at that one. Very nice. Very nice. Here we go. Number 4. Every morning I get up. Every morning when I wake up I don't know why. Every time I hear that, every time I get up and make instant coffee and I drink it, so I have the energy to make real coffee. Oh, man. Oh, she's on fire. Rusty's playing Boom Shakalaka. Somebody should have said that. Boom Shakalaka. Yes, he's playing NBA Jam. Love it. Love it. Last but not least, says Jesse. All right. What's the last one? What's the last one? Are we going out on a bang? Here we go. Here we go. Where is it? Where is it? The chat's not moving. Last but not least, Jesse just left the chat.
Yeah.
Somebody says virtual hug. James Chadwick says, the coffee joke makes me think of the the Folgers. Oh God, the Folgers commercial. All right, here we go. Last but not least, I spilled spot remover on my dog, and now he's gone. Oh, Spot's gone. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Oh, my gosh. Jesse, whenever I eat, you know what? Whenever I get popsicles, and I eat a popsicle now, I always, in your honor, read the joke that's on the popsicle stick. Even though I know that is going to be one of the worst jokes I've ever read, I read the popsicle sticks now in your honor. So there you go. I never throw a popsicle stick away now without reading the popsicle stick in Jesse Calyn's honor. So there you go. What other show, guys, finishes the night with the jokes of Jesse Calynn. And there, and see, this is when you know that the show is over. It's over. It's over. Why are you still here? My picture on Ferris Bueller's body. Yes. Oh man. Listen, guys, thank you so much. I know we went over time tonight because again, we were doing some different things, doing some new stuff. And of course, we had to talk a lot about the Sting thing and about the Impact thing with AEW. So again, appreciate you all coming. Really, really happy that you're here with us every single week to listen to us talk and listen to us laugh and listen to us get a little bit rambunctious about things. Really, really appreciate that you joined us tonight. Make sure, tomorrow night, of course, enjoy SmackDown. SmackDown's on tomorrow night. And then make sure you are back with us on Sunday night for our stream with DJ B. Tazzy. Like I said, make sure you join his tailgate party as well. Check that out. And beforehand, and then come over and join him and Jeff for the start of War Games. I will be along as soon as I get home that night. So yes, make sure you join us for War Games on Sunday. I'm sure it's going to be good. Can't wait to see some of that. Shotzi Blackheart, by the way, been killing it. Shotzi's been killing it. I'm excited to see what she's got lined up for that pay-per-view. And maybe, do we get a Karrion Kross sighting? There's rumors. There's rumors, guys. There's rumors flying. We may get Kross, so we'll see. But yes, make sure you join us on Sunday night for that. Make sure you join us on Monday night for Abby's Window. And make sure you are here. If you have ever wanted to come to one of our streams, make sure you are here on Tuesday because it's going to be a big show, man.
Yeah.
Make sure you're here on Tuesday for Impact. It's going to be big. It's going to be big. It's going to be big. All right, guys, that is it. Really appreciate you being here with us from Jeff and from myself. Thank you so much for joining us as you always do. And have a great rest of your evening. Like always, stay safe. And we hope we will see you on Sunday night for War Games. Have a great night, everybody. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.